Hey everybody, Leslie from Discovery Fabrics. You will note that I am wearing a vest today, and this is a vest that we created using Polartec 200 and Aerospace Tech, which we printed. So I'm going to talk a bit about Aerospace Tech and tell you what it is and what it's good for and why we love it. So Aerospace Tech originally came in only white and black to us. So just to show you the black, I want to show you that it's very water repellent, and it's also highly wind repellent. Now this isn't even going to go anywhere, so I'm going to see if I can get it back in my little cup. Oh, look at that. So highly water repellent. When we say it's wind repellent, literally it's one of those fabrics that will block the wind 100%. So let's be clear about this. This is not a super breathable fabric. If you want breathability and you're highly active, you're going to be wanting to look for like a neo shell or one of the technical shells. But if you're looking to make something that is just comfortable for, say, you know, a surprise rain, or you're just walking and you're not sweating a lot, this is a great fabric for that. And it can be used for many things. I've even used this to make shower curtains. I've used it for linings. It actually makes a really good lining for jackets as well. So let's just show you some of the prints that we have. This is a brand new print, and it is called Aerospace. And we chose this one so that we would have one of our prints available for children, and we also wanted to pick a couple of prints that would be good pretty much universally, and then also some were geared a little bit towards fashion. So the Aerospace is really cute. When I'm done showing you these prints, I'm going to walk over and show you maybe some of the matches that you could do with Polartec fleece if you decided to do something like the overlay that I have. And I'm also going to talk about how I did this. So this fabric here, Aerospace Tech, we call this Crayola. Just because it's a fun name and it just reminds us of crayon squiggles. And it's got so many great colors in it. It's going to go with a lot of different matches for both fleece or, I mean, there's many other fabrics we could pair it with. And this is the windy day that I have on. Really love this fabric and this print. And the last one is a leopard print that we call Wild Child. And it's pretty cute too. I think this would be particularly nice for lining a jacket because I like fun linings in some of the jackets that I make. So let's go over and just take a couple of these and see what they match. So starting with Windy Day, obviously, it matches this gray that I have on. So this is called Gray Heather, and I think that's a great match for it. But let's just look at some of the other matches. This here is Lilac. Looks great with lilac. Looks lovely with pinky. I didn't go around and check all of these beforehand, but literally you could put it with anything. It looks amazing with black, as you can see actually just against my sweater. And we do have some black colored fleeces. But you know, you
could almost do that, the purple on the end there. That's not
bad.
Well,
yeah, almost.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at this blue color here and wondering what we've got that would be sort of more in the blue tones. Let's just walk over.
Riviera?
Well, actually, Riviera blue is just one of those things that goes with so many prints. It's just kind of crazy. Here, let me just see if I can pull that out a bit. Show you that it does kind of look nice with that as well. So I think that's pretty much it. What have we got a gray down here? This gray is slate blue actually. So I'm going to spread it out a little bit. It's a little hard to tell. There we go. So, okay, I probably wouldn't be my first choice, but in any event, we've got a lot of colors that it goes with. Oh, that's kind of nice too, isn't it? Let's see, what is that? That is Lunar Purple, so very nice. Okay, now I'm going to grab Crayola. Now, Martha did a video with Crayola showing a lot of the colors that go with it, but it's just got so many options. It's wild. Here we are with Lemon Lime. That looks really good with it.
Yep, the green.
And of course, Riviera Blue. Again, it matches that blue in it. This green on the end looks really good with it. Love that.
And I think the bright orange.
Yeah, the bright orange is down here. and I think pinky.
Pinky, yeah.
Pinky.
I thought
Yeah.
pinky looked all right with the
Yeah,
light
it's
pink.
got the little pink, the same pink
Yeah,
as
yeah,
in
they come in.
there. And of course black.
And then all of the reds were kind of okay. I think I just pulled out maybe the TNF red in that video,
that's
but
this one here.
Yeah.
TNF red looks really good with it. TNF actually stands for the North Face, because this is the red that they use.
shh.
Oh, wasn't supposed to say that apparently. So we just call it TNF. Okay. And let's look at Rorosaurus. Okay, this is such a fun print, isn't it? I love this. I know
Super
that every
cute.
time we get a dino print or dinosaur print, that we sell as many to adults for their clothing as we do for kids. So, lemon lime. So cute with that. Riviera blue. Yeah, not too bad actually. It's not quite that blue, but
What's this one up here?
let's see. That's actually kind of cute too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that is ice blue. Yeah, I kind of like that. When I back up from it, it looks really nice.
And I think we picked that darker blue yesterday.
one here?
Yeah,
Navy?
Phantom, is it?
Phantom blue, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Phantom blue looks nice. It's actually picking up these guys here. So those are just a few colors that go really well with Rorosaurus. And then we have Wild Child, which is our leopard print. And of course it's going to go with black. Probably going to go with the gray heather as well. It does actually look pretty nice with that.
It looks nice with that, with the ice blue. It kind of reminds me of that t-shirt that someone made with the sunlight where they had the one blue
actually,
sleeve.
It does. Yeah, I mean, you can use these for coordinating. They don't have to match anything. They look good, you know, with a lot of different colors. I mean, leopard is pretty much universal. And you don't need to match it with 200 weight fleece either. You can match these with micro fleeces. We actually have a black micro fleece here. This looks really nice with red as well. And were we going to show it maybe with one of the high lofts? Let's just.
And what about Alpha Direct?
Ooh, never thought about Alpha Direct, but you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the high lofts first, and
Okay.
then we're going to do Alpha Direct. So over here. Now, disclaimer: our high lofts always look messy because they're lofty, and when we cut them, they have little furs that fall off. Once you sew them, it's not an issue, but we can't quite keep this area clean. So what do we got here? Okay, I like this. This is silver style 4230. This came from Patagonia. This has got a really nice match in the gray. You know, none of these are exact, but you know, to us they look like they coordinate really well. And then of course black, that looks fantastic. We actually showed a brand name vest yesterday that was made with high loft, and it is pretty cool. This one is black bricks style 4116. I love this. It's minky soft. It looks great. And can you see anything else? I mean, we've got, you know, grays and blacks and a variety of different styles.
I think.
But that just kind of gives you an idea. And then let's go over to the alpha section, and I'll see what I can find. I didn't actually come here to look before, so okay.
That looks
so
probably promising.
this one is Alpha Direct. It's style 4004, which is 90 grams per square meter, and it is light gray. So that looks pretty good. You can pair this with a dark gray as well too. This is flint gray, and of course we do have the blacks. Now, we talked about how we could use this in other ways, lining obviously, or a standalone windbreaker jacket. But you could also use it for plackets and trim. Now, it is a very slick fabric. It's easy to sew. It's not going to like slide away on you, but it probably doesn't, you know, like you can't iron it and get it to have a crisp edge like you would a cotton. But often I will use double-sided tape if I'm wanting to put something down and it's kind of slick, and then I at least can sew over that. If I'm wanting to just do a trim that needs a finish on it. It's kind of a little cheater step that I do sometimes.
Leslie, you were going to tell us how to do the overlay.
Oh, I am. Let's go back. Okay. So how we did my vest is kind of a sneaky little way. I just have a vest pattern out here. Now this one actually is one we've used quite a bit. This is an old Quick Sew pattern, 3813. May not even be in circulation anymore. But I also really like the 5 out of 4 Aspen vest is a good style. Now none of those vests necessarily have an overlay on them, so I'm just going to show you what you would do if you wanted to make an overlay. So here we have a front and a back of the vest. So that's where you're going to be sewing them together at the shoulders. So 2 ways you can do this. The easiest way is to decide where on the, say, the back of the vest you want it to come down to, and same thing on the front of the vest, and then just get your vest sewn together to start. No, I'm sorry, that's a different method. Don't sew it together to start. You're going to have to make a copy of part of the top of the front and part of the top of the back. So you would just simply take your fabric, make a piece that was the same size basically, maybe a little bit bigger because you're going to be sewing it down to all the edges, and all you're going to do on the bottom is turn it and sew it. And that's actually where I would be using the sticky two-sided tape, because sometimes you can just put that on the bottom of the hem, flip it over, and then just put it right down, and then it's going to stay there without you having to use a bunch of pins, and then you can just sew it along. And you're going to do the same thing on the back, and then you're basically going to just treat these like one piece of fabric, and then you're going to be sewing your shoulder seams together. The other way that I had mentioned initially, which is what I did here, is I actually sewed the front and the back together, and then I take a piece of fabric and just sort of lay it over the whole thing and just roughly cut around where it's going to match all of the armholes, all of the neckline and the fronts, and then I kind of just cut that piece out and fold over like I just explained with the tape, and tack it down or pin it down, sew that line, fold over the other one, and do the same way. And then what I would do is actually sew the garment on around those edges and then trim it, and sew as normal after that.
Yep.
That probably just confused you because I don't have a pattern for this. I just kind of make this stuff up as I go. But I'm
so
sure
one gives you a shoulder seam and one hides the shoulder seam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the easiest way, if you're not wanting to really fuss around, is simply to follow your pattern and treat it like the same piece, and you will have a shoulder seam. This way is easy for me because I've done it so much, but basically it's just one whole piece that comes
To
over.
show your shoulder.
So there is no seam here.
Right.
And actually, I will take it off and show you the inside. So you can see that it's just been sewn down here. In fact, in this case, I probably had right sides together, sewed it down and flipped it up over. And then same thing here. It's just sewn down in the front, but I have my regular vest piece was all here to start. And there's my shoulder seam that I sewed before I put the overlay on. And then I've covered all of the edges with binding and just put it in with the zipper. I mean, it's in there. It's just basically treated exactly like that piece once you've got it on, and it gets hidden under the collar.
Beautiful.
So pretty simple. And you can see where in this case, I think I sewed the binding down, right sides, flipped it around, and then caught it on the other side by sewing all on the right side here. So I wasn't meaning for this to turn into a sewing lesson because there's a million ways that things can be done, and you probably just prefer your own ways, and my ways don't often even make sense to anybody else, but I thought I would tell you. Anyway, that shows you a little bit about Aerospace Tech. We will continue to have prints done, probably some more in the spring. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to do any more this season, but it gives us just a little bit of selection for adding some pizzazz to your fleece makes, whether you want to make a reversible coat, which we made the other day using the Happy Camper pattern from Peekaboo. And that was super cute. You'll see a different post on that. Or if you just want to line a jacket, or if you just want to make a jacket, or anything all by itself.
A great fabric for kids because it's not expensive, fun
like
prints, and just like a windbreaker or a double-sided, like a fleece coat that's got some windproofness.
Absolutely.
So for kids,
and
great.
Honestly, even the black and the white make great fabrics to do a muslin. If you're new to sewing, you just kind of want to make a jacket up with that, that's a good idea too. So hope that helps a little bit and shows you Aerospace Tech and our new prints. If you have any questions, please ask them in our Facebook group, So Inspired by Discovery Fabrics. And thanks for watching.